Nobody is ready for what you're about to hear, because this isn't a normal future yacht. This is a bold idea of what sea travel in 2050 might look like if comfort, space, and pure smooth living were pushed far beyond anything we know today. And even though this design isn't real yet, the thought behind it feels so close that you can almost imagine stepping onto it right now. That's the part that shocks people the most. How something fictional can feel this near. Imagine looking out over open water and seeing a giant shape rise from the haze. It doesn't rush. It doesn't roar. It moves with such calm control that it seems to float above the sea. At first, you can't tell what it is. A moving island? A private home? Or some hidden project from a tech giant? But the closer it comes, the more you understand why people in 2050 might see this as the top of sea comfort. This thing isn't designed to impress. It's designed to change how one feels the moment they step on board. Yet here's the twist. Every part of what you're about to hear is only a concept. A wild look at what our tech could bring if ideas were pushed without limits. Nothing here exists today, but it shows a thought so strong that it forces you to ask, why not? And that's the exact moment the story begins. The first steps onto the yacht are nothing like the entrance on normal ships. There's no noise, no pressure. The body opens in a soft glide, as if the material itself understands you're near. This imagined tech in 2050 uses quiet motors and smooth surfaces that shift without any shake. You walk in, and the floor under you senses your weight, warming by a few degrees, so each step feels natural. No commands, no buttons. Everything reacts on its own. And what comes next gives the first taste of how far this concept goes. An entrance hall stretches ahead, with calm blue light running along the sides. Not bright, not faint, just smooth enough to guide your eyes forward. The air is fresh, without that sharp blast of cooling we feel today. Instead, it adjusts to your body heat in silence. AI sets the hall lights to your comfort level and guides you deeper into the heart of the yacht. Even though this tech doesn't exist yet, the idea behind it feels logical. In 2050, AI might control indoor air, light, and even the flow of space around you. Not to show off, but to remove any sense of stress. And that's exactly the point of this design. Nothing is there to shout luxury. The effect comes from the feeling that the entire place works for you. Past the entrance hall is the private section. This is where the design jumps from impressive to unreal. The master suite sits at the front, stretched wide with smooth lines and soft textures. The bed adjusts firmness on its own. The walls can turn dark at a touch. But the part that grabs most people is the open space behind the bed, a small indoor garden that never dries. The air moving through it is always clean. In a world that gets more crowded each year, having your own green corner inside a moving home at sea almost feels strange. Yet, in this future idea, it's normal. What makes the suite even more shocking is how silent everything is. No clicking, no humming. If the owner wants a cool breeze, it arrives without sound. If they want dim light, the walls soft fade. If they want total quiet, the room seals itself like a calm pocket of air. And while all of this is fictional, the idea behind it is simple. Comfort should come without effort. But the master suite isn't the only private space with this level of care. Each guest room has its own theme, based on natural scenes. One uses a forest mood with soft green shades and faint leaf sound in the background. Another offers a snow-like tone with slow white light and cool air. Another room uses warm colors and dry wind to copy the feel of desert mornings. None of it is real nature, but in a 2050 concept, smart walls could shift their entire look within seconds. Guests wake up feeling like they slept in a different part of the world. And for the owner, there is something even more secret. A hidden room behind a plain panel. No handles, no marks. Only the owner's voice can open it. When it slides open, it reveals a small calm space, maybe a reading corner, maybe storage for important items, maybe something only the owner knows. What matters is that the space responds to one person only. In a future where privacy becomes more rare, this little idea hits deeper than any loud design feature. As guests move through the yacht, they find lounges unlike anything seen today. One sits at the top, under a clear roof. In the day, it shows bright sky. At night, it shows stars without city glow. The sofas here aren't stiff or fancy. They adjust to the guest's posture, making long talks feel light. Another lounge sits under sea level with wide windows that show ocean life passing by. You sit here and feel like the water is a living wall around you. No screens needed, just the real movement of deep blue. But the calm lounge might be the most interesting one. The room reads stress levels, gently changing its light, air speed, and sound flow to match whoever is inside. Someone tired feels a soft, warm tone. Someone anxious feels the air settle. Someone excited sees the room brighten in a smooth lift. Even though all of this is made up for now, the thought behind it feels close to what future AI could offer. Comfort that reacts without needing commands. And just when it seems like the yacht has shown every trick, things shift again. Because this next part might be the most surprising corner of this entire idea. What appears next on this future yacht feels almost unreal. Because after passing through the calm lounges and private spaces, the floor opens into a section that most guests would never expect on a moving home at sea. It's a long hall with soft curves, shaped in a way that makes it feel endless. This is the center of the yacht, the point where different parts of the design connect. And the feeling here is strange in the best way. The air is cooler. The light is steady. You can sense movement around you, even though everything stays silent. On the left side of the hall, thin strips of gentle light run down a long glass panel. They hint at a system that studies the yacht's shape in real time, adjusting stability so every step stays smooth. It doesn't show numbers or charts. It just shows soft flashes that rise or fall based on the sea. Even though this feature doesn't exist right now, it shows how future yachts might focus less on showing data and more on showing calm. Walk further down this hall, and the space widens. The floor drops by a few inches, and the ceiling rises above your head. You enter a wide, open room that looks like a personal retreat built inside a floating home. Here, the idea isn't about showing luxury, it's about feeling it. The walls carry a warm glow, the kind that makes you relax without trying. Soft shapes run along the edges, forming curves instead of straight lines. The couches here are deep, but not heavy. They adapt to your back the moment you sit. And the best part? The whole room bends ever so slightly, as if responding to the ocean's shape. It's not motion sickness. It's more like the room breathes with the sea. At the far end, a long panel opens automatically when someone stands nearby. Inside is a private zone meant only for the owner and close guests. This small space feels like a personal retreat, focused on peace rather than flash. The air is warm, the light is soft, and the room holds a single feature that sets it apart, a floating rest pod that hangs from the ceiling by nearly invisible supports. When someone lies in it, the pod adjusts its shape and angle to reduce pressure on the body. It doesn't move like a swing. Instead, it adjusts in tiny shifts barely felt by the person inside. This is one of those ideas that reminds viewers that everything we're talking about is fictional, yet the feeling behind it seems closer than expected. A future where rest is not forced, but shaped to each person's body. But even this room is only an introduction to what comes next. Leave the retreat area and walk toward the right side of the central hall. There, a long door slides back and leads to a space many owners in 2050 might see as the heart of the yacht, the giant open boardroom. This isn't a business room or meeting room. It's a multi-use space built with sharp, clean edges and warm surfaces. The floor stays firm, even when the sea becomes rough. The ceiling opens into strips of clear material that change shade depending on sun strength. During the day, they let in soft, natural light. At night, they show the sky as if you're outside. In the center of this room sits a long table carved from a single solid surface. No corners, no sharp ends. The table can shift in size, stretching for bigger groups or shrinking for one person. People in 2050 would see this as normal tech, but today it feels like something from a far-off future. What's more interesting is how the walls change when someone enters. The left wall brightens with calm white tones when only one person is inside. But if a group enters, the wall shifts to warmer shades, making the room feel more social. Again, this feature doesn't exist, but the idea behind it is simple. Spaces that respond without needing a command. Move out of this room, and follow the hull to the back. This is where most viewers would expect something ordinary, maybe storage or machines. But this concept yacht flips the idea. Instead of machinery or plain walls, the back opens into a long space designed for long stays at sea. Here is where the yacht shows one of its most surprising fictional ideas, the adaptive floor. The floor in this entire back area can change its texture based on the guest's comfort. Want a soft step? It becomes a cushioned surface. Want a solid feel with grip? It adjusts in seconds. It never shows how it works. It just happens. The ceiling above this area holds thin beams that soften or brighten the space based on daylight. If it's bright outside, the room stays calm. If clouds form, the room adds soft color so it never feels dull. Everything aims for comfort without force. But the most important part of this rear section isn't the floor or the ceiling. It's the hidden deck behind it. A tall panel slides down slowly, revealing a private open area that looks like a quiet corner carved from the future. There's no loud design here, just smooth edges, clean surfaces, and soft curves that guide the wind gently. This is where guests come to breathe, think, or simply take a slow walk. The area is wide, giving enough space to sit or rest without feeling cramped. And the best feature? The railings along the edge can rise or lower based on wind strength. If the sea wind becomes too strong, the railings rise and block it. If the breeze becomes soft, the railings slide down, giving a clear open view of the horizon. This detail alone shows the depth of thought in this fictional design. A future where comfort isn't added through items. It's part of the structure itself. From here, a small hidden lift takes guests down to the lowest level. This part of the yacht isn't for show. It's built for calm moments and slow walks. The walls glow with slow waves of light, copying the sea outside. The corridors here stay narrow on purpose, so it feels like a private world under the main deck. And at the very end of this level sits something that brings a quiet shock, a fully sealed personal pod room. It's not large. It's not bright. It's a small enclosed space with soft air and warm light. When someone enters, the pod closes and adjusts the atmosphere to relax the mind. It's like stepping away from the world for a few minutes. Everything feels still. The air flows gently, and the sound fades until you only hear your own breathing. This small idea, though fictional, reflects a future where people value silence as much as space. But this yacht is far from finished. The next section reveals something bigger, something visitors never forget. What comes next on this future yacht feels even more strange than the quiet pod room below. As soon as the lift takes you back up to the main deck, you enter a wide, curved hall that leads toward the front half of the yacht. The air here feels different, lighter, almost crisp. The walls glow with a warm tone that shifts slowly, giving the hall a calm pulse. Nothing here tries to grab attention. Instead, it guides you forward without a sound. At the far end, a large opening reveals another private area built for long stays at sea. But this space takes the idea of comfort even further. It's shaped like a soft oval, with seats carved directly from the structure. They don't look like normal couches. They look like smooth surfaces that rise from the floor and form natural shapes. When someone sits, the surface adjusts without any sign of machinery. It almost feels alive, but in a calm and steady way. The ceiling above this oval room has a strong twist. Thin panels that stay clear at daylight but turn dark and deep as the sun drops. They show the sky without glare, almost like a perfect window, but with more control. Even though this tech doesn't exist right now, it paints a clear idea of what comfort might mean in 2050, spaces that change on their own without asking. On the right side of the oval room, a quiet sliding door opens into another zone made for guests who want peace without leaving the main areas. This is the silent chamber, a concept meant to block all outside sound. When you walk inside, the air becomes still. The walls feel thicker. The space is simple. Just smooth surfaces, warm tones, and a soft glow along the floor. Here, the only goal is to let the mind slow down. But the real shock is what the room does next. When someone sits against the back wall, a gentle pulse moves through the surface. It's not loud or fast. It's a soft wave that runs through the wall to help the body relax. It's not a massage or a treatment. It's more like a steady rhythm that matches your breathing. A feature like this doesn't exist today, yet it fits the idea of what future rest might look like. Step outside the silent chamber and continue toward the forward hall. This is where the yacht opens into one of its longest spaces, a stretching walkway that runs along the inner side of the forward deck. It feels almost like a long balcony, but without the open wind. On one side, tall clear panels show the sea with no distortion. On the other side, a smooth wall curves upward like a shell. The walkway stays bright without being harsh. Soft strips of light follow along the floor, guiding each step. And every few meters, the ground changes texture. Some parts feel firm, others softer, giving you different sensations as you walk. This small detail keeps the mind fresh and adds a sense of movement even when your feet stay steady. At the end of the walkway, another door slides open, revealing what might be the most stunning area of a yacht so far. A massive forward lounge built with complete openness in mind. The entire front wall is made of a clear advanced surface that can dim or brighten in seconds. When it's bright outside, the wall lowers the glare automatically. When it's dark, the surface becomes deep and rich, showing the night sky without distortion. Inside, the lounge holds long, low seats shaped like smooth waves. They blend into the floor without joints or seams. When people sit, the seats sense weight and adjust shape around the body. The space feels like a soft curve that holds everyone without pulling focus in any one direction. But the most advanced part of this lounge isn't the seats or the view, it's the air itself. This entire zone uses a fictional system that studies each person's breathing pattern and adjusts airflow to keep everyone steady. It's not about scent or temperature. It's about calm air that stays in the perfect range for long stays. On the far left side of this giant lounge sits an opening that leads to a hidden private room for the owner. This room is smaller than expected, but far more refined. The bed is shaped like a smooth leaf rising from the floor. It shifts its angle based on how the person lies down, offering comfort without buttons or controls. The walls stay warm, the air stays soft, and the lighting adjusts based on whether someone is awake or resting. This room also holds a long side table carved from the same surface as the floor. It looks simple, but it changes height on its own. If someone stands beside it, it rises slightly. If someone sits, it lowers. Small changes that help the owner feel at ease without asking for anything. Step outside the owner's chamber and continue through the forward lounge. A thin path curves to the right and leads to a small opening built low to the floor. This entrance takes you to the yacht's hidden forward retreat, the most private space on board. The opening is small on purpose. It forces guests to slow down and enter calmly. Inside, the room is shaped like a hollow dome. Soft, warm air flows from the floor in a slow, steady pattern. The walls hold a faint glow that expands and contracts like a slow breath. It feels as if the room itself is alive, but without movement. Guests sit or lie against the curved walls and stay wrapped in a sense of peace that feels unlike anything in the outside world. This retreat is not flashy. It has no sharp shapes, no heavy features. Its entire purpose is to give a quiet break from the rest of the yacht. And even though the tech shown here doesn't exist, it fits the idea of a future where private rest is as important as grand design. Move back to the forward lounge and walk around the long curve toward the central hall. Here the yacht reveals something far more bold, the adjustable light field. This feature stretches through the ceiling in a long panel. When the yacht senses heavy daylight outside, the panel dims to protect the eyes. When the sky is soft, the panel brightens with a warm tone that spreads evenly across the room. What makes this concept even more wild is how the panel changes as you walk under it. It follows your movement with subtle shade shifts, giving a sense of presence. And here the story shifts again. Toward the midpoint of the yacht, the design reveals a massive open gradient room that blends two floors into one tall, quiet space. The walls curve inward toward the ceiling, forming a gentle inward shape. From below, Warm upward light creates a soft vertical glow. When you walk inside, your footsteps feel lighter thanks to the cushion base layer under the floor. It's not noticeable at first, but after a few seconds, it becomes clear that this room is meant for long walks and steady thought. Near the back corner of this tall room, a narrow door leads into another hidden gem, the floating rest area, a small chamber where the floor rises and lowers in a slow, controlled manner. It's not meant for sleep or rest. It's meant for slow thinking. The gentle rise and fall mirrors the sea outside, giving a soft sway without moving the body much. Guests step inside, take slow breaths, and leave feeling steady. And the most shocking part? This is still not the most advanced area of the yacht. When you step into this next part of the yacht, the first thing you notice is how quiet everything is while still feeling alive. A hidden panel slides aside, and a round guest lounge opens, soft and private. The light in the room shifts in tone the moment you sit, like the place reads your mood and answers in color. It does not shout. It simply makes you settle. The air changes in a small, careful way, so each breath feels clean, not forced. A thin pillar in the corner glows when you speak to it. You do not see a robot face or a loudspeaker. You see only a ring of light that knows your name. It learns how you like your light, how warm you keep the room, and how strong you like a shower. That kind of quiet care is part of the idea here. Smart help that stays out of your face. Remember, this is a concept for 2050, not a real product today. It is a way to imagine how privacy and comfort might be built. Walk from the guest lounge into the master bath, and the tone changes again, but still soft. The floor under your feet warms to the exact level your body likes. The shower has no visible taps. You lift your hand, and a curtain of water begins to fall, soft and wide, like a warm sheet. Steam comes from vents hidden in the stone, filling the space with a calm fog that clears within minutes. A large mirror shows only what you need to check in the morning, and it uses gentle light to help with small care notes. It does not force anything on you. All of these details aim to remove small annoyances. That idea is central. In this imagined yacht, comfort is built so you do not waste time on tiny tasks. Head up to the top deck and step onto the long glass path that runs close to the edge. The floor feels solid beneath your steps, but below you can see open water moving slowly. Walking here gives the odd calm thrill of being very high and very safe at once. Small lights under the glass glow as you move, like a soft trail that follows each step. When you stop, the lights dim back to match the sky. This path is meant to be a short, quiet thrill, not a show. It is a small idea that sticks in your mind because it blends all with ease. Again, only a concept, but a powerful one to imagine. Near the edge, pods hang just off the side on long, silent arms. Step inside one, and you feel like you are resting off the hull of a floating home. The pod holds you in a soft seat and turns slowly as the ocean moves. It is not a ride. It is a calm place to sit and think. The window can go from clear to soft shade with a quick touch, giving you privacy when you want it. These pods are small private spaces made for long, quiet hours away from any crowd. This vision imagines personal calm that you can carry outside the hull without losing safety. Back inside, a long hallway moves like a slow breath through the yacht. Vents along its length send a tiny flow of air that keeps the corridor fresh. Floor lights guide your steps in a very soft way, brightening as you approach and dimming behind you. The idea is to make movement feel guided, never forced. As you walk, the floor texture changes in small patches, sometimes firm, sometimes softer, so your feet keep noticing new detail. This keeps the mind awake and focused on the space, instead of letting your attention wander. At the heart of the yacht sits the indoor garden. It is wide and alive with low green trees and small streams that run in tidy channels. The air here smells clean and faintly green. A bench under a small tree becomes an instant stop for anyone who needs to think. The garden uses a smart system to care for plants, tracking soil and light and water. It keeps the plants healthy without anyone needing to handle them. This green pocket is meant to give long sea days a sense of land time. a slice of calm that helps the mind reset. It remains, once more, a design idea rather than a finished item. Not far from the garden, a high-end hallway opens into the VIP rooms. The lights here flicker slowly like small glowing points that move as you walk, creating a soft sense of company. The walls feel warm when you touch them, and the doors slide open without sound, making each room feel like a private world. Step into the VIP suite, and the space breathes with quiet skill. The bed floats on a low base that shifts height on its own. Lights around the floor rise in warmth when you place your foot down. There is a small lounge corner with low seats and a table carved from the same surface as the floor. A hidden cooler keeps cold drinks and snacks ready, but tucked away so the room does not shout. Even the glass in the private shower can change from clear to soft fog in a second. Inside the suite, a short staircase leads to a raised study. From here, you can look down on the lower lounge and out at the sea. A desk holds slim, floating screens that show what you need and hide what you do not. Down below, cushions and soft light make the rest area a place to slow down after work. The idea here is simple. The suite can switch between work mode and rest mode without noise. The space adapts so your focus shifts fast and without friction. This is the kind of small design that changes long days into calm ones. Move across to a shared hall that the yacht uses as a common space. Hanging lights cast soft shadows, and seats fit into your back like they were made for you. A long wall of glass looks out on the sea far away, making slow talk feel easy. Guests gather here before nightfall to watch the light change on the water. The place wants to be simple and drawn out at the same time. It is not flashy. It is steady. Again, these are ideas, a way of imagining a calm, shared life on someone's private ocean home. Along the dining area, small food pods sit within the wall. Tap a choice, and the pod opens with warm steam. The food inside is crafted by smart systems to match the guest's taste. The goal is quick, fresh, and personal, not loud or full of show. The design keeps service intimate and quiet. It is a different take on dining. Less ceremony, more calm service, and a strong focus on what each person wants. Down low near the waterline, a full sea-level lounge opens where the hull meets the sea. You sit on low seats with water inches below you. The view is close and raw. Floor lights shine softly into the water at night, making the edge glow. This area feels like a direct line to the ocean itself, a stark contrast to the rooms above. It is imagined as a place to feel the sea without losing safety or calm. On the open deck, adjustable shade panels track the sun and change angle to keep shade exactly where you need it. The seats under these panels fold and move to match sun angle, so you never must shift too much. The shade moves slowly and quietly as the day goes. It is a simple comfort, but one that matters on long voyages. Finally, at the back, a long pool sits in a soft bowl. The water flows in a steady, controlled stream, so you can swim against it or float at the edge. At night, the surface carries slow, shifting lights. It is not a show of color. It is a soft, moving field that lets the water itself be the point. Once more, these are ideas laid out to show one way a future yacht might shape rest and calm. All of this is still a vision. None of these systems exist as shown today. But imagining them helps us see what private travel could feel like in 2050. Up next is the part that asks a sharp question about privacy and control, and why one hidden room changes everything. As the yacht moves into open sea, the sky grows darker and the lights across the deck rise in a slow, steady way. You begin to sense that the deeper layers of this vessel have not been shown yet. The upper rooms showed comfort and soft calm. The lounges showed warmth. The pods showed a new kind of quiet peace. But now the story goes to the most hidden area of this imagined craft, a place only the owner would ever know. Past a narrow walkway at the far end of the main hall, a section of the wall pulls back with no sound. A soft tunnel opens, shaped by panels that adjust as you walk, guiding you deeper. This space is not built for guests. It is not built for show. It is the owner's private core, designed to hold the most secret parts of their life. Every corner here responds to breath, touch, and step. Even the air carries a small warmth, like the place itself knows you have arrived. This tunnel leads to a round chamber, quiet and still, with no obvious screens or panels. At first it seems empty, but stand in the center and thin lines of light rise from the floor, joining above your head. They form a calm glow that holds the room together. This chamber is the yacht's private hub, the mind of the whole design. It holds records, controls, logs, routes, and personal plans. But instead of burying you in data, it waits for your request and gives only what you need. This calm style is what makes it feel different. There is no pressure, no rush, only clear, simple help. A raised seat sits near the back. When you rest there, the room shifts ever so slightly. The walls show soft forms that move with your thoughts. Not in a wild way, in a steady, respectful way. This imagined system is made to read your mood and help you shape plans without strain. It helps you see your next day, your travel path, or your goals without a crowd of buttons or controls. This vision goes past luxury and into care, a kind of comfort that works quietly in the background, shaping time instead of just filling it. Behind a second door in this private core lies the most protected room on the yacht. The door slides back with slow care, revealing a space that feels almost outside time. The walls shine with a soft glow and the floor feels smooth under your feet. This room carries no visible decor. Its power is in its silence. Here, the owner can rest, think, plan, or simply breathe without any sound of the world outside. Even the low hum of the engines does not reach here. The room is shaped to hold stillness, and that is what makes it so rare. This private room also serves as a reset zone. Soft light on the ceiling shifts in slow waves, steady but never distracting. When you close your eyes, the light still seems to guide your breath in a calm pattern. Many call this kind of room a calm chamber, but the truth is that in this concept is much more than that. It is a place where days of pressure soften within minutes. It is a place where ideas settle and rise again without force. Step out of this quiet zone, and the path leads you to a balcony that looks over the sea at night. Tiny lights outline the railing, but the main view is the dark water stretching forever. A low seat curves along the edge. This is where many owners spend long hours thinking or simply letting time slow down. The night sky above reflects on the surface, turning each ripple into a small shimmer. This scene, simple as it is, forms one of the strongest memories on board. It shows the raw beauty of the sea, framed by the soft comfort of a floating home. Above this balcony, one last stairway rises to the upper dome, a clear shell that gives a full view of sky and sea. Stand inside and the world looks open and wide. The floor warms your feet and the air holds a calm, steady flow. This dome responds to light, shade, and even cloud cover, shifting tint on its own to keep your view sharp without strain. It is the perfect place to watch dawn break, or to see the world go dark again. This dome has one more surprise. When you stand in a certain spot, the dome reveals a blend of real view and smart overlays. Instead of blocking your view, it lightly adds small lines that track the horizon, wind path, and sea shape. Nothing loud, nothing distracting, just small details that help you understand the world around you. This is one of the most advanced ideas in this entire vision, a blend of real and smart that stays quiet and simple. As you leave the dome, the path leads toward a final long deck that wraps around the end of the vessel. The sea meets the back of the yacht in a wide, open space. Seats line the edge, shaped for long hours spent watching the wake trail behind. This spot feels like the soul of the craft, a place where the ocean reminds you that even the most advanced vessel still lives on water that cannot be controlled. This contrast between control and surrender is what makes this yacht feel alive in the imagination. Now, imagine living with all these ideas. The soft rooms, the warm halls, the quiet pods, the air that adapts, the private core, the dome above. None of this exists today. It is all a plan, a vision, a hope for how future sea travel could feel in 2050. These ideas show what luxury might look like when comfort and calm come first, when tech helps without noise, and when space itself feels designed for the human mind. And now comes the thought that changes everything. If one concept yacht can hold this much care, how far can future designs go? How far can comfort grow? How private can private life at sea become? This imagined vessel is not the end. It is only a starting point for what the next era of travel might create. If you want to see more visions like this, more future designs, more bold ideas shaped for tomorrow, then this is the place to stay connected. Subscribe to Luminera Rides. Stay with us as we explore the next wave of travel, comfort, and design. Your support helps bring more of these future worlds to life. So hit that button and join us on the next ride.